went up.
We go up to Route 1.
Yeah, I went up through Spear Mill and then 97 to 1.
Alan always says, even the 220, there's no shoulder to, if someone's barreling. behind
Right,
you.
yeah,
Hello.
yeah, and it's nice and slushy out. It's fun.
Okay. Anybody here?
I don't think so.
No.
You are.
I am.
Doesn't look like we have anybody on the streaming in. Was hoping we'd get some folks.
Got a few
It is
minutes.
what it is.
Hi.
Hi, Monica. How are you gonna join us at the table?
Oh, it's okay. I can look at all of you. So we're going to the magic show tonight in town at the Waldorf Theater.
Oh, that's gonna go ahead, is it?
Oh, I don't know. We didn't check. Do you think it might be canceled?
Well, they would have let you know, I think. Boy, this thing is really slow. All right, now we need some participants. We got one more person, we have a quorum.
We have quorum.
Well, Alan is here. He-
Wax is here.
Okay, where's, oh, his hat is there. Okay.
Yeah.
Felt that?
Thank you. We went to go find
I
the
don't remember whether it was 5 or 4 for a quorum, maybe it's 5.
Would audience count?
Should.
bell.
Hey, Max, how are you?
Good morning.
Hello?
I never realized how big your truck was till I parked
Right next
next
to it. Yeah.
Of course, I'm in the small car,
It's
so
a two.
it wouldn't look quite so big next to
Yeah.
pickup, but it still would look big.
Yeah. No, I'll tell you, it's, I think I went a little too big, because as I get full, trying to get them trash bags up to the top.
But you're not that old yet.
Yeah, you're right.
You say Jerry, my next door neighbor,
Yeah,
he's 80, still hauling,
Yeah.
and I said something, but I can't stack them 6 high anymore.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, years old, they can't stack them
Yeah.
6 high
Yeah.
anymore. The few times I've been out with them, I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we
No,
go.
he'll go till he can't go no more.
Yeah, well, then it's gonna keep him
Yeah,
alive.
that's what's gonna keep
you
him
know,
going.
Until then. Did you by any chance print out a couple of agendas?
I sent them by email.
I know.
Sorry, I didn't
What?
print any out, but it's a really short agenda, so
Okay, oh, I looked at it, but
it's really short.
Hi, Alan.
how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Very well.
Wasn't so bad on the road, was it?
No, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Let's just hope this is going home.
It's
Don't
gonna,
say that.
it's gonna be fun. Yeah.
I don't think it's
How are you?
too awful full.
You know,
Looks like we do have
What the
a
heck?
quorum.
I just wanna see the damn thing.
Okay, yeah, it's just basically discussing MRC, talking about the budget and talking a little bit about extended producer responsibility. And anything else anybody wants to talk about that's not on the agenda. So it is 4:30. I don't see anybody trying to get in. Do you? Okay.
I offered Liz a ride yesterday, but
She said no.
yeah, she said no, thank you.
Well, it was nice of you to do that. She had an option. Okay. So I'll call it to order. This is the Transfer Station Committee for Waldoboro, Cushing, and Friendship. We have a quorum. Wow. This is like the first time we've met in
14 months,
a long time.
14 months.
Thank you. I know we tried in October and got waylaid by that bond meeting they had for the school. So it's past time. First, there are, I send everybody an agenda. You may not have one in front of you. I read
I
it
can't
out.
get it up on my phone.
Is there anything that I mentioned that either you think shouldn't be on the agenda or that you'd like to add to the agenda? I had talked about the Municipal Review Committee, the budget for 2025, and extended producer responsibility. Anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I got a few things I want to talk about.
Okay, what are those, Ben?
Well, I would.
Are they- were they
I wish-
maintenance-
I wish.
capital issues and maintenance issues?
Maintenance, yeah, that,
Okay.
and, I don't know, not a lot of people are aware, but, we've been down to one trailer for the last, I would say at least 10 weeks, if not 12.
Okay.
Which is
it-
why it's the,
why the hopper's been so
So
stinking full every
Okay.
time.
So I've added that to the agenda.
Yeah, okay,
We'll hit it,
we'll get into the discussion.
we'll get
later.
into it. We
Yeah.
will. Was there anything else?
No,
Maintenance primarily?
yeah, just the primary,
Okay.
The,
And I did bring that up at our select board meeting
Yeah.
briefly Tuesday night.
yeah,
Now I talked to our town manager about it.
okay.
So I have some things to, add to
So you might
what
have some
you're saying.
insight to.
Yeah, well,
okay,
she appreciated your
yeah,
comments.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So we'll go to public comments. We have two members of the public with us tonight.
No, I'm just here to support the things you throw when you talk about that.
Okay, all right. I'll give you a brief update on the Municipal Review Committee. Of course, that page failed to open because I'm not connected to the internet. See if I'm sorry, this is going to take just a moment. Looks like I am. As I'm connected. There we are. And that was under preview. There we are. Okay. The MRC meets quarterly now. We were meeting like monthly for I don't know how many years. You probably are aware that MRC bought the plant in Hampton for $1.5 million, $80 million plant for 80 million bucks. We bought it for $1.5 million. And we tried very hard to find someone to partner with. We had 3 or 4 companies that expressed interest that actually submitted proposals. None of them could come up with the money. It was all dependent on bank financing. So finally, this group out of California walked in the door. They don't need banks. They are in the business of waste management and among other businesses. It's called White Oak out of, I think, San Francisco. Anyway, they've formed a subsidiary called Innovative Resources, and Innovative bought 90% of the plant. MRC still owns 10%. It's somewhat reminiscent of the structure that we had when PERC was operating, Penobscot Energy Recovery Corporation. Only we don't hold as much equity. We hold 10%, I think, instead of 30%. And so Innovative has gone into that plant. They've gone over it top to bottom. They've started up the equipment. They've actually run the MRF. And they're making improvements to it. They're also looking at the anaerobic digester. And my understanding is that they really want to make that a huge part of the operation, much, much bigger than it was originally designed to be. And the idea is to make renewable natural gas from the organics that go into the plant and to put that into the pipeline, refine it, put it into the pipeline, or use it to power the plant itself. So they're in the process of doing that. They're guesstimating they might be back in operation sometime in 2025. They are taking waste in. They're taking in 1,000 pounds a week right now just to test the system out and to look at the constituents in the waste stream to see whether or not it's suitable for anaerobic digestion. They're very serious about wanting to pursue that side of it. So we're kind of waiting for them to get themselves going. The upside is that the MRC is no longer depleting its resources. I think we put in something like $6 million to keep the plant open, to pay off some of the creditors, pay taxes. In any event, we're looking at a budget year for 2024 being in the black and actually being able to begin to pay back money MRC borrowed from the joint venture, the 115 communities that own the plant, own 10% of the plant now, to pay the money back that was borrowed during the downtime. So that's looking positive. Are there any questions or comments anybody has to make? Yes,
I'm not gonna say anything, it's just, can it, right? Can we make it happen? Can they make it happen?
yeah, well, you know,
They're trying.
they're a serious group of people. And they're very much involved in the industry. And they want to make it work. So I'm sure that they'll give it their best shot. Yes,
Did they send engineers and experts to be working there, or are they making use or hiring locally?
they're doing both. They've got local engineering companies in there. They've been very careful about whom they select. They want to make sure that the kind of people they need and want. They know who the old employees were. So they're making use of that information when and as they can. I've been up there a couple of times and seen some of the old employees working there, helping out. So, and we actually now have an office at the plant, the MRC does. Not removed as it was before, but actually on site. And the MRC will be managing all of the community relationships on behalf of the new owners. And that's one of the great things about the new arrangement. The MRC has a management contract with the new owners, and of course, it has the lease agreement. So you have two income streams that are more than enough to pay for MRC's operating expenses and build up a little bit of a cash reserve. So that part of it is looking good.
Is there a new name for that plant now?
Sorry,
Is there a new name for the plant, or what is it called?
it's MWS. Municipal Waste Solutions, not Municipal Solid Waste. Not MSW, but MWS, Municipal Waste Solutions.
Do you think a anaerobic digester would help us? Because we still have to truck the organics there, right?
Yeah, we do have the barrels there. Interesting question. We send all of our organics to Lincoln County Recycling. And they give us, what is it? What's the ratio? They sell us so many bags of compost. They have a composting operation. So they sell us so many bags of compost for every so many buckets of.
But they're just doing buckets, they're not reclaiming it out of the waste
No.
stream.
They're not. They're,
And this would be reclaiming it from the waste stream. Is that-
well, the compost is reclaiming it from the waste stream. That goes on to people's
Right, but
gardens.
But they're not taking it out of the bags, they're taking it, the stuff that we separate. Or not,
They're only taking the stuff we separate. We have to
But-
put it in those barrels.
but MWS would be. Separating and taking stuff out of the stream,
They're doing that. Yep.
okay.
They're gonna sort organics out of people's trash?
Yes, they are. Yeah, they have that's what that MRF is all about, that separating equipment at the beginning of a line. Yeah, it worked pretty well. It's got optical sorters in it. It actually does a pretty good job identifying what goes in.
At one point, they were talking about expanding on-site composting at our transfer station.
Yes, and I
That's
still
not
think that's on the docket, but not very seriously discussed at this point, primarily because we haven't been meeting. I think we can give that a push. And there's something to do with the DEP as well. They need to obviously approve the program. Yeah, Monica?
I think, I mean, if this is, they're thinking of possibly being operational in 25. I think it would be hard to have everybody start thinking about composting seriously at the transfer station. And then have them switch if MWS is going to be wanting organics. So I think we want to avoid, I would think, avoid having the instructions to the population to do X, and then we switch it.
I don't think we'd even be able to get our instructions out really by the time everything goes in less than, 6 to 9 months.
Well, but if
Yeah.
the composting facility is still on the docket, maybe that's kind of wasted energy. If this, if MWS actually uses them.
Yeah, I take your point. I think part of it depends on who's willing to participate in the program that we build. I don't know how much of our compostable material goes into the hopper as opposed to into the barrels. I'm guessing that a lot of it goes into the hopper.
I'd be willing to bet 75 to 90% is going to the hopper.
Yeah, I would
I would.
put a number on it, but
Yeah.
it's probably pretty high.
It's pretty high.
Those
Well,
barrels are like pits, they're just
Yeah.
there for show. When I look at it, they're not really.
Well, it was a serious effort to get people to reduce the weight that we have to
Right.
truck out of here.
Yeah.
And, yeah. I
But
wish
people
it
aren't
were-
using-
No. Yeah. And as we get into the budget, we'll discover that people are throwing away stuff, more stuff now than not throwing away less. And that gets into the pay as you throw it conversation. Yeah. So, any other questions about MRC and Innovative? Transfer station budget. I was hoping to have something to give you, but it's not ready yet. Budget isn't complete. We're still working on it. I've had snippets. One of the most striking of which to me is they're looking at a $900,000 ticket for the budget this year. And it's mostly tip fees. Oh, there he is. John,
Sorry, Mike.
well, you're here on a Friday and it's snowing out. I just, thank you.
Yeah.
And you're timely.
Yeah.
Can
And
you
how
tell
much
us-
was it last year?
The budget last year was what, 700?
Yeah, almost 800,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And now we're talking another 100,000 maybe in,
Oh, yeah. Transportation costs, I'm up to 165,000. Right now, but trash is going up. We're recycling rate running about 15. Getting less and less. Big money, really is.
so, I mean, we're starting our budget meetings next month.
Yeah.
Very soon.
Yeah.
And your budget will be part of that conversation.
Yes, I started looking into it, now we're looking into other towns. Most towns around us are charging. For the weight, either 12 cents a pound, 140 a pound. You know, we don't, that's for commercial people. You know, which we don't. We don't charge. I don't know, we might have staff, I'm not sure.
Monica?
Does that mean bags that come from the household?
No, these are commercial guys.
Right, but
Yeah.
you would have to pay.
I would have to pay. Yeah. But, so my question is why, just because I'm commercial, I have to pay, but residents do not?
I don't know, I said that's what these
And,
towns,
oh, that's what the town.
what these towns are doing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got some, like there's a couple of them. Ronnie Porter, he's realizing that he's not paying, so he takes his recycling over Lincoln County for us. So we don't have to mess it up, you know, you got different haulers that are doing things like that, cause we're not charging. But maybe, you know, it's a problem that we have, you know.
So do you think we're attracting haulers from other places because
Nope.
we're not charging?
Yeah, we've pretty much gotten rid of that problem
Oh, yeah.
with our
Yeah.
scales.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody gets in there unless someone sees them go in.
Right.
Because there was a lot of that going on years ago. Yeah. Any other information you might have, John, about the budget at this point? I know it's kind of early, but
The budget, as most of you know. All the loader, the scales, everything's paid for. The landfill closure, that's all paid for. Through our undesignated fund. But now the undesignated fund is gone. There's no more of that, alright. I ran into a problem back, we had COVID. the trash went up tremendously. So the following year, that budget, I see the amount of trash going out, so I increased the revenues for that, and it didn't happen. So we've taken, I think some $90,000, there's an overdraft on that. But the town, I believe is taking 60,000. Waldeboro, and then we've got to split up the difference, they purchase. On that.
Yeah, but our capital budget is still,
Capital
the
budget.
capital reserve, the reserve is still there. The
The
capital reserve.
budget reserve is still there,
Yep.
but that's going for a trailer.
Yep.
We've turned around, the trailers. It was automatically going 10 years, and it was bugging me. That they were going so soon, you can get more years out of them. So we turned around, and that's what we've been doing, and we turned around, we got 15 out of the older one. And we had to do a lot of work to it last year. The second one, right now, which has been messed up for us for a couple months, they won't take a sticker. Spring was broke, everything else, the garage we took it to. They were supposed to fix it, it sat there, then they said the guy had COVID, the mechanic. Started snowing, we can't do it. Then come January, 1st of January, they says, oh, we just can't do it, they would have told us in the first place. Yeah, we would take it somewhere, right now it's over Warren. Being worked on, I hope to get it Thursday. You know, on that, the facility's getting old, it's getting some age on it. We've got issues, with the front rail. And looking at it, and talking to a couple contractors. It probably cost us about $14,000-15,000 for that to be rebuilt. My guys can come in, we can do it for under 5. So that's what we're planning on doing. The reason is, I don't have to pay $1,000 a day just for that company to show up. You know, it's a company out of Massachusetts who worked on it, and I got good welders.
Roy's pretty handy with it, with a welding machine.
Yeah, and I got others up to prove, so.
Yep.
You know,
Is the rail for the, at the hopper? At the-
Yeah.
at the-
Yeah.
That's the rail.
yeah, that's the rail.
It says what they're doing for the time being, where it's, well, from what I've seen, and probably somebody's standing there, as us commercial haulers back up, somebody's standing there to make sure that we don't go too far and bump the rail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's what we have to
yeah,
do,
yeah,
otherwise, man, I'd have to,
shut that end down.
I would shut it down. I'd have to put blocks and tap or something, you know. But right now, I can't see what's hurting anyone. You know, and if it's gonna save us, you know, $10,000-12,000, unless you guys have a problem with it. You know, if you do, yeah, we'll do it. We'll find back.
Right.
You know.
No.
Up to you guys.
The only thing that is which you mentioned is being down to one trailer, especially over the Christmas time. But yeah, it was, I mean, I know I had to go for repair. But it was a feat getting around some days. But
With having one trailer down. Them guys bent over backwards. To try to help the commercial guys. I know of only 2 days. In that 2 months, which was a little bit frigged up. Most of the other times, there wasn't an issue. So this is the first time I'm hearing this. And if it happened more than that, I would like to know. Cause there was a lot of crap going on that I tended to make sure there was no issue.
Mhm.
If they turned around and told you can't dump this morning, dump this afternoon, well, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
But I made sure most every day.
Mhm.
And as far as Christmas and that time off wasn't just because of trailer, it's because the selectmen said, give us that half a day.
No, I'm not talking about the time off at all.
Okay.
I'm not, that's.
Yeah.
Don't give me, they
Yeah.
deserve time off. Everybody deserves time
Yeah.
off. I'm not griping about that.
Yeah.
What I was getting at is it is exceptionally busy over Christmas time. That's all.
Yeah.
That's, and it was just, maybe it was just the way all the cards fell and that's the way the deck landed and that was just how it played out, but.
Oh, yeah,
It-
it's just as busy for us
Yeah.
at Christmas.
Yeah.
And like I said, we went through a lot, so I'm surprised hearing this from you.
Yeah.
If it was a real issue.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the haulers knows, if you guys got a problem with it, take it yourself.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
take it yourself someplace else. We're doing the best we can.
Mhm.
You know, stuff happens to us too.
Mhm.
But they really bent backwards and the commercial and Libby, they went over backwards. So we didn't have that situation. So I don't know. If it was a couple times, I'm sorry about
Yeah.
it. I'm not, there's more than just you.
No, I'm not saying,
Yeah.
I'm not getting it was just me.
Yeah.
I just, it was. Like you said, and you talk to just, so moving forward. Is you talking about the new trailer and the budget set aside for the new trailer?
Yeah.
Well, when has that been ordered? Is it gonna be ordered shortly,
Yeah.
with the
It'll
other ones
be-
being,
It'll be ordered after the budget process.
gotcha,
Yeah. Get their approval on it now.
Right.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
Right.
We have stuff that we have to work with too.
right,
And on one of them days that we were having problems, they closed Norwood down because of winds up there, so we couldn't help it. Yeah, I'm not gonna take the.
no,
fault for that.
I'm not
We
trying.
bent over backwards for commercial.
I'm not trying to point fingers at anybody and blame anybody.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, moving forward from this point, is the things, like you said, things are getting, you pretty much addressed it, things are getting outdated, things are getting, and just
Yeah.
getting things swapped around
Yeah.
and maintaining things, moving forward. Like I said, I'm not trying to point fingers and blame anybody. I'm just, I'm seeing the things that, cause I'm in there every day, sometimes twice every day.
Yeah.
And so more than anybody else, I'm seeing the things that are wearing down and that need a little work and touch up and so I guess that was my, going ahead, going forward, where is this, I was just curious on where things were headed.
Maybe it was wrong of me trying to get 15 years out of the trailers than 10 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're over $100,000 of trailers.
Right.
15 years of them, that's quite a bit to me.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's not go down this road.
Yeah,
This won't be good.
Yeah.
It really won't. So,
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for being here tonight. That was a shot in the dark. I mean, I know I sent the email to you, but
Yeah.
I thought, wow, man, it's a Friday, it's snowing, the office is closed.
Yeah.
So thank you, John.
Oh, I've
That's
been at
above
work
and beyond.
since 4 this morning.
Ah, even more so.
Yeah.
Any other comments on budgetary issues or anything? Okay, pay as you throw. I think you all know we tried to do this back in 2016. We got shot down big time by the voters. They didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this a couple of times at a couple of our meetings, and my sense is that we want to do it. And most encouraging to me is that Ben is behind it. Maybe he's
I-
changed his mind, but
Well, I cannot, from what I see, I can't, either. Just, you look over the last few years and the budget increase.
And you
And-
say there's
and
more and
so-
more trash.
And yeah, more and more trash, there's more people coming in, and so it's the money's gonna come from somewhere.
Hmm.
So either whether the comes from the towns and the towns raise the taxes, or it comes from, people pay for their own. With the pay for your throw, but the way the budget, not the budget, but the way the prices increased. I don't foresee, things are just gonna keep going up. I don't see them ever going back the other way.
And like I said, there's towns around us that I already doing it. It does work, resetting a long time ago. It makes people responsible. For what they throw. We turn around, the big trick everybody's doing now is they clean their yard. Turn around, dumping leaves in the bags and throwing that down the hall.
Oh.
I mean, we recycle leaves, just
Right.
dump the bag out with leaves out, but it's, there's just no need of it. You're paying a lot for wet leaves, sticks, actually, thing, Stuff we looked into years and years ago.
Monica, did you want to, or Alan, did you
Well,
want?
what I was saying, given what happened the last time, we made a major pitch to get people interested in this. Would there be changes to that? Amendments to that promotion this time? Would we be coming back with the same information or maybe some an amended way to send the message?
That's a good question, and I don't know the answer
Well,
to
I
it.
think one of the things we weren't able to tell people is that if you do this, your taxes will diminish. I think we couldn't make that statement, could we?
You couldn't.
We couldn't because I don't think the select board or anyone would say,
Your taxes will go down.
Well, and that's funny, and I've had this argument with a couple of selectmen. As far as the transfer station budget, the taxes will go down.
Yep.
The overall budget will not. But the transfer station budget will,
and that's the
and if we
important
keep
thing.
that in thirds, it's very important.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
one of the things is, everybody, the big part of everybody's tax bill is education.
Yeah.
So, you can't, you'd let, I'm in favor of it, but how do you get people to, we had the discussion once about. Any truckload coming in, even if it wasn't commercial, if it wasn't whatever percent recycled.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we ever got any place with that.
Oh, yeah, we've been doing that.
Okay,
And the commercial guys, they've been working the hardest. And they really have, and if they don't meet that 18%, they get charged. And that's been working hard at it and everything else. And what it's done, it stopped some of the other commercial guys who were just picking people up. And they're recycling and just dumping it. See, once they pick people up, they didn't care, so it did stop that, so all of them are recycling quite a bit. But people themselves aren't recycling. And,
Monica,
I think one of the important things was because Bob and I worked on that presentation a long time to get the statistics correct and inspiring. We thought it was really a good program, but what we found, because we went and spoke to each of the select boards.
Yep.
I would like to see the select boards really get behind this and understand, because I don't know how much power they actually have, but the undercurrent would have really helped if they had supported it. And I couldn't see why we didn't convince them that we were going to save the town money.
well, I know why.
Right.
Waldeboro pays almost 70% of it. Friendship, pushing. only pay what, 14 or 16%. That's quite a difference when it's, you know, the taxes to that's only, you know, 80,000 or 70,000 or, you know, it's not quite over 100,000 yet. Well, it could be, I'd have to figure out. But that makes a difference. You know,
What do you think if Waldeboro had been convinced to do it, if they had gotten behind it, then the other towns would have probably followed by default because they're connected to the transfer station. So maybe we could, if we do want to decide to push in that direction, we should really make a great effort to continually talk to the select board. Certainly Waldeboro, and I know that there are different people on the board now that might be more agreeable. Cushing certainly has someone that might be very agreeable, so we will see.
What's your take on Cushing, Tracy? It is a different group.
It is, and with Danny leaving in March, yeah, he's not running again. Kind of the old. It really won't, there will be nobody on the board the same as there was in 16. So it's possible.
Well, I think if, as we, if this board would want to talk about that, I think we could still fill you in on some of the details, and we certainly need to update the statistics, because our statistics stopped in 2016.
They do. We can update that.
Right, and I think I asked you when we just recently talked, could we get information, and you might know this already, of the towns that are still doing pay-as-you-throw? What are their statistics? Could we access them so that we could,
Yeah.
that would be concrete information?
Yeah.
Would you give us the name of people that we need to get in touch with, or do you want to gather those statistics?
I could probably gather it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great. I think that would be so helpful.
And one of the problems in Waldeboro was that our town manager at the time was not behind it. It didn't have her full support. She didn't say, she was kind of neutral. And I think we have a different situation today. I don't know what your read is, John, but my read is that our current town manager, I don't want to put her in a box here, but
Well, with the budget increasing,
yeah,
and of course, people are noticing it more. We have to come out. You know, where we're gonna get the money from. Now, the selectmen. Out of Friendship and Cushing, the population, of course, we're down. On population. Because they have residents in the summertime. You know, and it does change. The numbers quite a bit. You know, that's what we're looking at doing. For one of the things to get this budget sort of
So
taken
the
care of,
budget, is it based on populate? What's it?
based on population.
So when you get the summer
Yeah,
bump, which you guys don't
Yeah.
have,
yes.
Oh,
And we didn't, see, I've never bothered to do that, because everything's been going good. But now with the prices increasing, you know, I'm gonna have to do that,
okay,
and that's gonna come in
That's
on it. you know.
huge.
Oh, I know.
That's huge. I just know how much I increase
Yep.
come the summertime.
Yep.
That's big.
is it double then?
I wouldn't quite say double, but it's,
It's close?
but it probably close. Yeah.
well, I mean, I think the population comes close to doubling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friendship
Yeah.
during the summer, if I was told correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of, I mean. Houses that used to, well, any house that's been on the market lately has gone up to Airbnb or
Yes.
been bought by,
Right.
which means that it's, you know, it's vacation, so it's that. You know, that May through, what, I'm not sure exactly when the season really starts, but
Yeah, usually about May, you start seeing them trickle in, and then May till. I would, yeah, October, I'd almost even say a few hang on till mid-November, Thanksgiving, and then really things, you know. But then you have the Christmas mad house rush, and then after that, it really slows down again till May. But,
but if, you know, I mean, if selectmen understood that the 15% was gonna probably jump up to something, and can you say approximate, and I realize it's pulling a number out of wherever. What are, how much we save if people actually recycle like they should?
If people actually recycle like they should, it should be covering the tipping costs. And that's right around 300,000. I don't have my stuff in front of me.
It's
It's
okay.
gone up to about, what, 82 a ton from what it used to be back in the
$82
beginning.
a
Yeah.
ton, so it's 300,000. And, if we turn around and down the transportation. The way I'm doing it for the president's paying for the tipping fee, transportation, and a lot of our maintenance costs. But if we turned around and figured that for a bag, it should be over 400, over 500,000. It would cover.
That's kind of the way we did it the first time we
Yeah.
went out. We
Yeah.
tried to figure a reasonable cost per bag based on what we needed to recover. And I think we came out of, what, 2.25 per bag,
So.
something like that.
Very reasonable, I thought.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna change now.
Yeah.
But it'll be different.
Yeah.
But yeah. But is there another approach we could take to getting people on board with this, other than the naked number, which is a big number now?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that,
I think about lower income people who this is gonna hurt.
yes, it is.
Affordability. If there's a way to come up with like a compromise where, maybe they get 52 bags free a year. Or something, 100 bags free a year that they can use if they're at a certain income level, because certainly I don't feel sorry for the people that come up here in the summer, because they can afford to pay for their trash.
Right.
Instead of just filling up
That-
our landfills, they're probably bringing stuff from Connecticut to throw away here.
Yep.
'Cause it's so expensive down there.
The thing is, lower income people usually don't buy that much stuff, have that much trash.
Yeah.
If you go by the older people that are living on a fixed income.
Right.
They come in and have one bag. You've got younger people who low income, come in with a whole pickup.
I'm just thinking
So
like,
I
how,
need to be careful there how we do that.
right, how do you get these voters
Yeah.
who are looking at their wallet?
Yeah.
And if you have like a subsidized system for people under
Yeah.
a certain income,
Yeah.
that might get more voters.
Yeah.
Cause just putting it out like you did last time, it's gonna get the same result. I don't want to put a lot of effort into that.
Well, no, we did account for
Yes.
low income people, and I think, I don't know what we established in terms of how many bags would be made available free.
Oh, okay.
I think that, no, that was an important part, because, we do have big income disparity, so. No, we took that into
Okay.
account.
But John's point about people who come up and spend the summer in vacation time. And are not being, whether they're paying their taxes, they own property, they're paying the taxes. If they're renting, they don't care. But there ought to be some formula we can devise to work some of that into the break that we give lower income folks or people who aren't as able. And to maybe make up a little on the other side that you're talking about.
But then wouldn't the person that owns the property they're renting out, they'd be buying the bags, I mean. Like they'd be paying for it.
They would be, or they wouldn't. I don't know how they would handle that with they might decide,
No, they would.
I'll put a note in the cabin and tell them they gotta go to Hannaford's and buy bags.
No,
Otherwise, they can't throw their
no,
garbage
they would
away.
Just add it
No?
to their rental fee, I mean.
Okay,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't rent. so-
Yeah.
That
Here.
would not be
Uh,
an issue.
I mean, as far as, cause I have several Airbnbs and then as far as I would be concerned, if it's not in the proper bag, then I don't
wouldn't
know
pick
what
it
to
up.
tell you. You're right.
Do they do, the Airbnbs do any recycling at all?
They try, but
Okay.
the issue I run into is that everybody's so used to single stream. So I will get. I'm thinking of one place in particular. I get probably 4 contractor bags, but it's bottles, paper plates, lobster shells, everything's all mixed into one. And so there's really nothing, I mean, unless I want to sit side the road for an hour and sort through everything, there's nothing I can do with that. If it's something that I can you know, I'm not opposed to, I still have a lot of people, the red bins we give out in town. Everything's mixed in those red bins, but I can, you know, it's open, I can see it, I can pick through it real quick and get everything out, but that's the biggest issue with the rentals, and I still fight with, you know, I can think of probably a dozen instances where people, they stop me and ask me, how can I do this? And I tell them, well, by the time I get to the third item that they have to separate out, they're like, well, we'll just see how we do. And then that's the end of it, you know?
I
Yeah.
know, because I get calls in the summer,
Yeah.
people asking, I think it just, we need to be more proactive, maybe speaking to the owners of the property and say, please post this, and have people do the best they can.
I was gonna say,
It-
we could, if we had a,
We,
you know, was an 8.5 by 11, because if it, or
We do
maybe
have
it's,
it. We
what?
do have it. We have it, it's in the annual town report in Friendship and Cushing, 'cause I write it up. I post it at the post office, people have it available to them. If you want me to send it to you, you can have your office Xerox it and hand them out.
it,
And we speak about, please respect your hauler. They don't have the time to sort through your
Trash.
container. And the instructions are simple, really, if you get into the habit, there are few things that people are really recycling. And by having that bin with the bags in it open, easy for Ben and anybody else.
Yeah.
But it's available, and I don't know, I send that report to Friendship, I assume it's appearing.
I'm gonna have to go look.
It should be, I've been doing it for years.
I won't argue, I mean, there's a whole, that, the book is like that thick, and I do not have it memorized,
Okay,
you know, you cannot test me on it.
people do have, I mean, I have a gal that she kind of oversees, several Airbnbs. And they have like a pamphlet or booklet about these are, and it's in that booklet, this is how you're supposed to do things, but again, you get this is not how we do it back home. And that's,
right,
and
but
they're not even.
I understand that, so.
I was just, excuse me, but I think if there was something that these rental properties had posted, like simpler, I think it's very hard to get people to read several paragraphs. But just something to.
Ain't that the truth? It's
Right.
hard for him to get him to read a couple sentences.
Yeah. Like, somebody was in
Philadelphia television,
politics, so he called and I got the call, and he said, the person that I'm renting from told me that Cushing does not recycle. That we have no recycling here, because he had asked. So there, it's just anecdotally, it means that probably a lot of places.
Yeah.
Aren't even posting a notice like you would for the septic system.
but he actually called the owner of the property he was renting and was told, no, we don't recycle. So of course, he gave me his email address and I sent all the information to him, but I didn't hear.
Was it a local guy, or was it not a
He was-
town?
No,
He was
a
renting
pu-
from a local.
He was renting.
So the local, well, there was a local owner, not, because some of these, you know, houses that are getting sold to, you know, people that have never seen it, and they're just, you know.
Well, anyway, there would be some kind of something we would post. That was simple to read.
Well, we can work on that. I mean, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
If something like that would help, it's easy for Alan and me to do it and pass it along. But I think talking to the owners of the properties, you know, the summer rentals would be worthwhile. So I don't know, Tracy, how we could find out who all is.
I don't know.
Maybe real estate agents know this. Anyway, we can pursue that.
Okay, well, we've identified an issue, so that's good. Any other comments or on pay as you throw? Do we at this meeting want to set ourselves up for moving this forward? Do we want to approach our individual select boards and tell them this committee would like to push it again and see what the response is before we start spinning our wheels?
With the budget being close to $1 million.
Good time to bring it up.
And if he's thinking of letting Friendship know that we may have to increase your percentage.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, cause Bubba's all about, keeping the budget down.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if he thinks that, that the money's going up, but our share of the money's gonna go up.
Yeah.
I think you may find that, cause I mean, sorry, Bubba, but this is not 1950 anymore.
It isn't, and we've done a super job. I mean, we turned around and invested, the three towns did. Invested in scale, loader up there, different things, different projects. That's paid for that wasn't extra out of the budget. We've turned around and, down the landfill closure, that was almost $500,000.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if you turn around, I think most of these towns here, Cushing and Friendship, I believe, kept that money. All right, Walboro put their share in, but Friendship, they believe the Cushing kept their money, and that was from, the perk.
Yeah, they kept their money.
Credits, yeah. And, but anyways,
Yes.
so the thing's paid for, I mean, we never had to borrow any money, so we've done quite a bit.
Yeah, no,
Now we're to the point of, this is the operating budget, and this is gonna cost. That's trash is going out.
now,
Sorry, I want to say something
Go ahead.
before I forget, because I've got a weak mind
so do I.
now. If we get our select board and our budget committee to sign on for this, maybe then we can go to Cushing and Friendship and say, look, our board is in favor of this. We really need to get behind it. Kind of the way we did this on the EMS thing. That worked pretty well.
It did, yeah, there's a possibility, and the thing is, people gotta realize. A lot of people would save money.
Yeah.
They really would, the older people, the low income people that are living on an actual fixed income. Would end up saving a lot of money. Cause that way they wouldn't have to pay for the ones that are in low income and are coming in with truckloads around it. That's why I say we gotta be careful about the low income. There's two different things. Some people are on fixed income, but some people are using the system to
Yes.
get low income. And so I don't agree with low income, sorry, but I see it a lot. So,
But I kind of equate fixed and low
Yeah.
in a certain way.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying though,
Yeah.
too. We can play with those.
Yeah.
Is there a way of finding out what part of the population is most resistant to the recycling?
It's a younger population. The older people, it'll be pouring rain. The older people come up there and they'll go. They'll turn around, go to each bin, and it's pouring up, they'll go to.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Right, right.
The
Exactly,
younger
yeah.
people, no, younger people, they can turn around and have their recycling separated, it's pouring rain, they back up to the bin.
Wow.
I watch when I'm there, I'm one of those older people that are out in the rain.
Yeah.
But, I hear cans and bottles getting thrown in there and I
Yeah,
know this isn't popular and I'm sure you're not interested in this idea, but maybe policing it at the point where they're doing it. To see like, you can't throw that in there, what are you doing?
I did that years ago,
Right?
yeah.
I mean, it's not gonna be a happy
And,
scene.
I had town manager take me in his office.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I turned around, I had selectmen come in. I got on their case and they didn't like it. I treated everybody the same, I didn't
Right.
care who they was.
Right.
So anyways, we found out that we can't do that. But I did, I done that years ago, recycling rate went up, but then we were told not to.
We had a big conversation about that when we redid the ordinance, back in 2008 or 9.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to give our
I want it
guys
to
the
be
right to
fair,
open the
right?
bag and look in
I
and,
think need to be fair. I don't like
real-
people-
yeah, we all feel the same way. Okay. So what I'm hearing is that it's the budget season. We got to talk this through. We got to get a feel for where people are on it, and then maybe get the select board behind it and go down and visit Cushing and Friendship. Get their select board behind it and then move forward.
Yeah.
Does that sound like a plan?
Sounds good.
I think we have to, with the way the costs are coming in now. You know, it's like I said, 165,000 for transportation cost. You know, I always said when I get to 150,000 that we were looking to get. You know, truck by our own and doing it.
That's
You
right.
know, and, I'm almost to that point now,
Yep.
you know.
You
That's
need just
what-
one, or you need two?
No, we need to. And the reason we need to is, you know, the stuff we're hauling out, doing the demo. You know, and the trash.
And the demo fee covers the tip and the transportation?
The demo fee does, the problem I'm running into with the demo fees. And it was last week when I was going through the numbers. Is actually, we haven't been charging people that come in with a toilet. People comes in with just a wheelbarrow of stuff. So we haven't been charging them, it adds up.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, I come in,
I was surprised how much it adds up.
I come in with, you know. Half a sheet of plywood scrap, you know, it may be equivalent to.
Yeah.
You know, that, I mean, and, you know, it's like. Can you come up with a?
Yeah.
You know, okay, you're gonna dump it there, it's
Yeah.
a buck, if it's, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
just in. You know, I mean, because. You know,
Yeah, true, it's,
It's, I've had, so I've come in, same thing, I had a toilet
Yeah.
and it's like, well, I'm not gonna worry about a toilet. I'm
Yeah.
said, trust me, I picked this thing up in the back of
Yeah.
my truck.
Yeah.
Let's wait. I had a toilet and one other thing.
Yeah.
It ended up being $25 by the
Oh,
time,
yeah.
by the time it, you know, by the time, and that would have been something that would have been like, oh, don't worry about it, just go,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, and it's true, it went
Right,
down that a lot.
right.
You know, and it's time that, you know, we've got to change. You know, we've got to charge everybody, that it is cost.
yeah, and that's,
Yeah.
the selectmen have to be on board with that, and. You know, it's.
Yeah.
You gotta let everybody know we're changing.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, true.
Have we exhausted that topic? Anything else? Okay, I just want to talk very briefly about extended producer responsibility. The legislature, in its wisdom, decided that that manufacturers of packaging should be held accountable for the cost of disposing of that packaging. And so they've been working up in Augusta on setting up a scheme for handling this program. And to their credit, they're enlisting the regional groups that handle volumes of packaging. So they've talked to the MRC. I know they've talked to the folks down at Eco Maine about getting involved in this data processing collection, or collecting the data to figure out how much they're going to charge the producers. It's an unbelievably complex program. And I guess what I have to say, then you may disagree with me, but what I have to say at this point is we need to be aware of it. There's not much we can do as a town about it because we do work through the MRC and they're going to interface on our behalves. But we're going to have to track what we throw away in terms of packaging. We need to be able to track what we're bringing in. Because it'll make their job easier and it'll give us a better realization.
how are you gonna do that?
I don't know.
Wouldn't that happen better at the sorting? Then they, you know, they can track it at the sorting.
Monica?
I remember when the people from Augusta were first presenting this at one of the big,
The MRRA conferences.
the person that was very informed had been talking to Canadian governments, Quebec, and I can't remember what other province had this program in effect. And they literally charged the makers of the Snickers, and then the Snicker wrapper is what gets thrown away. The people that make that wrapper had to pay a certain amount of money in anticipation of disposal. What more, we don't, as a home use, a consumer, we're not responsible for that. I don't understand why we would have to monitor.
Because they have to figure out how to distribute the money they get. How much do you give to Waldeboro? How much do you give to Cushing? How much do you
Oh, I
give
mean,
to
how much
Augusta?
they eventually
How much do you
get.
give to Bangor?
And it could have to do with
Nice.
population. That'd be the only way.
They're talking on a very micro scale. I mean,
Oh.
it's this crazy thing they're doing.
So is that include the cardboard that Amazon Prime is?
Would be everything that is,
Yeah,
So our cardboard. Do you lose money? I mean, that costs us to get rid of our cardboard, right?
No,
Oh,
free,
It's free, but you still have to truck it.
no, free, Lincoln County trucks it, I don't have to do anything.
Okay,
but we
So-
pay Lincoln County.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful that we pay Lincoln County a certain percentage. We have to pay Lincoln County, because also they're doing the radios, the police and all that, it's only a certain percentage. But if you turn around and figure Lincoln County is hauling out of there over 400 ton for recyclables. And like you said, $82 a ton just for tipping fee. And if you went $25 a ton for trucking fee, they're saving us money. And that's what I've been saying for years.
okay.
So anyway.
Yeah, no, I just, it's, I mean,
If it wasn't for them, it'd be going in the trash, then we'd be paying for it.
right, well, I mean, I just, how much when COVID hit did the cardboard go up?
Oh, it's, I don't care if I haven't seen another cardboard box in my life, you know, it's just, it's ridiculous.
You know, I mean, years ago, my plant, we used to, we baled our cardboard, but we had enough of it that, you know, I mean, and. You know, we had enough space that we could, you know. You know, it was a pain in the ass, but, you know, we basically almost paid for the baler operator. Okay, you know, we, you know, as opposed to paying to get rid of it, so.
so corrugated cardboard is one of the most cost-effective recycling products because it's a real high fiber material, can be used again. And so of all the things that we were recycling over those years, when we could see cardboard always brought some of the highest money on the resale market, the, you know, the bulk that was
Mhm.
going in. So Lincoln County is the money that they're making by selling off that cardboard is offsetting some things that they're not getting very much for. But that market, the thing is, by having Lincoln County, as I remember it, when I finally understood why we were doing that, they were dealing with the bakeries because those prices changed on a daily basis.
Mhm.
And they were taking that risk. We weren't. We
Right.
we were just sending our recyclables there, clean, done.
Yep.
Didn't have to think about it.
Right.
Except to collect it from the homeowners.
Yep.
Well enough.
Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because it's on the radar and I know we'll be talking about it more as this evolves. I think it's probably 2 or 3 years away. But it's on the docket.
Hopefully mattresses next.
Sorry?
Hopefully it'll be mattresses and stuff next time.
Yeah,
I mean, we've done it for TVs and computer screens and everything else, you know. It's that,
make them pay to get rid of
make
their,
them pay, they
Yep.
wanna make it out of the stuff that can't be recycled, make them pay.
okay. Did we cover the budgetary issues at the transfer station? Everybody, John wasn't expected to be here, but you are, so
Yep.
I think we've answered the questions.
They,
Dan.
they answered my question.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
There is an MRRA conference in April that you may have an interest in attending. There's nothing in the budget
Nope.
pay for our going, but
Where is it?
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm not sure. I don't think it's at the Samoset. I think they've located another place for it. I'll send the information out as soon as I get it. All I know is they're gonna have it. And if you're interested, and there'll be topics that will interest you, and a lot that
it
won't.
was very interesting when, you know, I went last time and I was expecting. You know, I was not expecting the what I saw with people there, you know. All these darn trash haulers were tree huggers.
Okay, anything else you want to talk about tonight? All right, guess thank you for coming. I wasn't expecting to have a meeting tonight, so I really appreciate your coming. And when do you want to meet next? Are Fridays at 4:30 good? Yeah.
Mhm.
Sure. So, but it's not good for John.
We buy you beer.
I don't drink. I get tested, so I can't.
So if we meet,
Cup of high coffee.
Yeah.
Where's the best coffee around?
Yeah.
if we meet again on the 23rd of February, which is a Friday, it's the fourth Friday of the month. Is that a good time?
Is that over school break?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I won't be here.
No?
The one before, the one after?
Yeah, I should be. I'll be away Wednesday through Saturday over February break.
What about March 1st?
That should be fine.
That is the next Friday. I mean, it's close enough to February to call it a February meeting.
With double.
And then
dip
we could have another meeting at the end of March if we needed to. But by that time, we'll be through the budget, into the budget thing, and we can have some feedback.
We should be able to
And
have copies of the.
And 4:30 is the time?
If everybody's amenable.
Fridays, I'm always done early, so
Have
that's.
any information about the use payers, the town
Yep.
use payers, because then we can start working, you and I can work on the presentation.
Yep.
Yep.
But it'd be nice to have the rest of the board's input to make sure all the issues are covered that are concerning to you. We have to work on convincing ourselves.
And it doesn't have to be just you and me. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Definitely not.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised because the trash, even Noblesboro, they're not pay as you throw, but the commercial haulers, they're charging 12 cents a pound. Commercial garbage. And yet they say they're not pay as you throw. I said, wow, if you charge it. You know?
But they're not making the homeowners responsible.
Right.
but the commercial haulers must be passing that back
Oh,
to
yeah.
their clients somehow on some formula.
It's odd. Different places, I think what's commercial, all is charged around here, basically about the same as what everybody else is charging. But they ended up. They are paying costs, well, just like, the ones that taking Hatch Hill. What's that company around the river,
Riverside?
Riverside? Yeah, I mean, they have to pay. Dumping fees over the Hatch Hill. But yet they're charging lower than some of these guys around here.
Is that right?
Yes, yeah.
They probably pick it up in volume and the amount they could truck.
But I
And
think,
their
I think
packers are
maybe
big.
we might have spoiled our,
Yeah.
some of our people. I don't know what I'm getting. Yeah,
So are you thinking that's a possibility for our transfer station to start charging commercial haulers?
I would,
You would want to?
I would, well, it's kind of too late to be doing it now. We've done it right from the start. But it's just surprising that you see what these other places are doing and we haven't. You know, and here we're open 2 hours earlier for the commercial haulers, these other places are. We're doing a lot for our commercial haulers. We really are. They might not think we are, but we are. And, yeah, these other places aren't. So. Just so you know.
Oh,
I-
So
I-
Ben, what would happen if
Yeah.
that was instituted?
What, they,
That
you
just
know,
commercial
they
haulers have to pay
tipping
12
fees,
cents a pound.
I would have to, I mean, it would be I would have to figure it out, I'd have to figure it out. Cause I mean, I do pay some every month, but I would have to figure out pretty much what it'd be per truckload. And kind of go from there. See what it'd be.
I mean, you definitely have to raise your prices.
Yes, yeah.
And how much price point do you think you have with your clients? And they accept the price?
No, I'm sure there's a point, I've increased, I've been doing this for 10 years now. And I don't, so. What the previous owner that I bought off of, when I started 10 years ago, he was doing $5 a week. And so what I found out what was happening is people they were trying to hold, so they would hold their trash for 3 weeks, put it out, and still only pay $5 a week. And so I went to, all right, enough of this, I'm going to a monthly fee. I don't care if you put it out once, this is what the fee is gonna be. And so I've gradually increased that fee just to fuel costs and the expense and everything else has gone up. But you lose a few, but I think as far as cushion and friendship goes, people can't, they can't put it in a truck, drive it up there, drive it up to the transfer station themselves for what I can take it for, and so that's, if I live living right in town, I think it'd be a different story. Because you're closer, you can, I could probably flip 3 truckloads over in a day compared to, I fight to get 2 in during the day just because I'm so far, being farther out. But it'd be an adjustment for everybody, I'd have to, I try to keep it as fair as possible. If I don't make enough, then it's, what am I doing it for? If I can't make a living off it, then there's no sense for me to do it. But also I don't want to be, the fixed income, I don't want to be so high that I'm putting the screws to everybody either. So it's trying to find that balance of where you make what you have to make, but you're not so high and out of reach. So.
It's kind of, and I wouldn't want to do that. Separate the haulers, I really would. Charge them, but it's people's trash.
It's a service. They ought to be paying for it.
Yes.
And your customers ought to be paying for the garbage.
Yeah.
And pay as you throw is perfect.
Yeah.
For that.
That's why.
Right, no.
And that's why we work.
Yeah.
And there's no. Like I said, 10 years of doing this, and I can't figure out, you have the 2 elderly couples that they produce 15 bags a week, and you wonder where it all comes from. And then I have the family of 6 that only do 2 bags a week.
Yeah.
And it's up and down. It's all over the board. There's just no rhyme or reason to any of it. So it would, going this route would just kind of put everybody. Everybody be fair.
Yes.
You're paying for what you make.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I lived in a town in northern Vermont for 30 years. That was similar size to Waldeboro, a little smaller. But I watched the evolution of waste management there. First we had a dump.
Yep.
And then, so people would just come and dump, and that was free. Then they had to cap that. And then they had to then they had to start hauling and make it a transfer station. And so they did that for a little while, but then the town said, this is ridiculous, and turned it over to a private business that took charge of it. And they would scrutinize, they would come and look what you had in your truck, and they tell you, okay, you gotta pay so much, and they didn't have colored bags or anything like that. They just looked in your truck. They did it by the yard. They didn't have scales.
Yeah.
So you just
No,
they charged by the yard. So and it worked. So everybody, the town was out of it. They had to pay the town. So the town actually got money for them leasing the site, right? So, and it was all private enterprise. And
I was curious just for number wise, and maybe you have some insight on it. Say you went to Casella, or say you went to Riverside, a town did, and say, hey, we would like to subcontract you to take care of our whole town. So say we're at $1 million operating budget now. How much more would that be do you have any idea?
Every time Casella, because they've done it over Bath, they've done it quite a few different places. They were trying to do it for Bristol, and everything else. Usually they come in, they're usually about 50,000 cheaper, that's about it. But it's a lot less hassle to the towns. Cause you come in, you do as they say. It don't matter, you can call your selectman, you can call
Right.
Take
your
all-
buddy or whatever, it don't matter.
Right. Right.
So they get away from that hassle.
Right.
Say,
Right.
but usually it's about 50,000.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, like, as far as like town trash pickup, like you hire Casella to take care of the waste, but they also provide, every resident gets picked up by that service.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'd have to look into that. I know, I do remember back years ago, and I think Veronica was also involved in that. We were talking about, offering a pickup service to all these towns. Do you remember that?
Vaguely, but
Yeah.
that's.
Yeah. And, it was something, we thought about when we first started. But didn't happen, but I know as far as operation, I think it'd be 50,000. And what they usually do is they come in and cut the benefits of the employee.
And
That's about all they do.
and that's how they save,
That's how they say, yeah, they tried
Yeah.
Bristol's. They could like 5-6 years ago, taking that one. When they would give a big presentation. 30,000.
Or do they take,
but is the town still are they still responsible for maintaining? They need a place to set up, so the town's not responsible for providing a.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's what it is over there back.
Mhm.
That's why it sells over there. When you show up, yep, $140 a ton, you want down, pay now.
Where do they take it, John?
Somewhere else.
where do they truck it to?
Oh, back, they're tracking it over there at their, landfill.
But if they took ours, they'd have to haul it up to Juniper Ridge, right?
It would-
That would cost us.
It's gonna cost us some money.
Yeah.
So our town just turned it over to them. But here, you guys are in charge now, I charge what you need, and they're gone. And you're gonna have to pay us a little bit for leasing out space there. But Casella doesn't do that,
Oh, yeah.
they'll come in and just say, we'll take care of everything, we don't have to pay them anything.
Yep.
They just
Yeah,
take care
they
of it.
take the money, they take the trash. You don't like it, you go somewhere else.
Would we continue with Lincoln County Recycling?
No.
For the recycling part of it?
No. Well,
Like Casella recycles.
You wouldn't have nothing to do with it. Whatsoever.
But we'd continue to pay Lincoln County for their program unless they got rid of it.
You'd pay for the percentage of it. You
Yeah.
don't be paying for the recycling part of it,
No.
because these guys don't do it anymore.
Yep.
But you still have to pay for the sheriffs, and you still have to pay for the county commissioners and.
No, I'm talking
Yeah.
about what they apportion to us for the recycling program they
Yes.
have, whether we're participating or not, they still bill us. I remember asking them that question.
Yeah, I don't think so.
They wouldn't cut us loose.
I don't think they can, but
Well,
that's okay.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
If they're willing to do that, then
Does Casella handle recyclables? Or-
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the things that I keep thinking about, and having worked all these years together. What I really valued was the care and attention John and are dealing with this station. The care that they took to think about the local control and the understanding of who the people were in a community and the support for the haulers. And I mean, I really like
Yeah.
when you speak about, oh, I don't want to be charging the haulers for X, Y, Z.
Right.
That's to me really important, and there's so few communities have that. And as long as I think we can find committees and select people that are supportive of that, I think it's important to try and maintain that. I know it's a hassle, and if we didn't have you anymore, maybe the next person would say, nope, I'm not doing this, and Casella is it, but
Yeah.
But for now, I mean, I think it's been really a wonderful community building experience.
Anything else?
I do enjoy my trips to the transfer
Yeah.
station. They're nice. Yeah, it's like a community thing.
Oh, Steve White used to enjoy it. He and Carl, he'd pick up Carl. They go do the transfer station, they go over to Moody's until Carl at 99 finally passed and that's no longer.
We all have stories.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll see everybody on March 1st. We'll get an agenda out. We'll hopefully have had discussions and can catch up on where we are.
Yep.
Cool. Great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He really,
Thank you, Tracy.
yeah.
That's okay.
Oh, it wasn't bad, yeah.
You know.
I've driven in my car.
Congratulations, you got a meeting together.
Well,
That was a long haul.
People are on schedule now.
It's always a nice thing. They work together.
Gotta go slow.
Yeah. See you. Not all towns like it.
Have a good
No,
night.
no, that's just it, no.
Thank you. for
Yeah,
coming.
yeah. I'm glad you got it.
John?
Oh, I better turn this off.
Oh.
I know how.
Hi, Bob.
Good night. Thanks, Monica.
Take care. All right, well, John's going to send you stuff or to me, and then we can get together. He's gonna send some statistics about
Okay.
the other